Hello there. We are back for the L Word season, the reboot, Generation Q, season 1, episode 2. I think I'm just going to do all of these separately because I feel like they'll be too long and I don't want to overwhelm you guys with a whole bunch of really long video. So I'm just going to break it up. Anyway, this episode was not a lot going on to it. It was just kind of getting stuff going, getting us settled in, nestled in, and giving us a little bit more backstory on some stuff. It actually starts with a flashback from 2 years ago. We see Alice and who is her wife. I didn't realize that this was her wife, that they're living with, lesbians and stuff, be moving in together, and sometimes don't always, get married, but sometimes they do. Wasn't sure. So this is when this was their first date, or the first time she took her home or something, I don't know. And then you hear a bang, bang, bang on the door, like somebody ghetto knocking on the door, like they the police or something. And I'm like, oh my God, who's at the door? And then she's like, who is it? Maybe it's Amazon. They come late. Postmates, they had to throw that in for shits and giggles. And so it turns out it's Gigi. She's like, oh, it's my ex-wife. So I'm glad to know that Gigi was long gone out of the relationship. Her ex-wife was long gone. And they were divorced before she even approached being with Alice, which is good to know. You just want people to be completely done and over with whatever back stuff they had going on before they come and try to enter a relationship. Make sure all that's over with, Nice to know, like that. So from there, Gigi is just banging on the door, so upset, like, who was in there? Well, I know you're there. And then she comes back with a hammer, nails, put a nail in there, and then puts her wedding ring there. I'm like, girl, that's a lot. I thought she was about to start busting windows. I was like, oh my God, but she didn't. But so from there, we see Sophie and Danny, the newly engaged. They're talking about, oh my God. Sophie's more super excited. She's like, oh, I gotta invite this person, this person, this person. Oh my goodness, believe me, I don't even want to hear about that talk because I am going through similar stuff right now with the whole marriage and engagement, all that stuff. It can be a lot. And then, what's the name? Danny's like, oh, okay, anyway, but I have something to tell you. And y'all, if y'all looked at the season, episode 1, I said this. I was like, she went and she made that big ass new job and shift and change, and she didn't discuss it with Sophie. I was like, that's not right. You don't do that. And she goes and Danny tells Sophie like, oh, I'm gonna have this new great job working for Bad Porter and blah 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 blah. And Sophie's like, oh, because I thought we said that we were slowing down, getting settled into our life. I'm like, why didn't you talk to me first? That's what I said. You don't make no life decisions like that without consulting your spouse. It's just not okay. And then she was like, oh, I thought she'd be happy, blah, blah, blah. She was like, yeah, but we said she's like, when I went to go work for Alice, I consulted you. So what makes this any different? You sat here and you left the company. She left the company. The only place she's ever worked at was for her father. So this is a big life change for her. And she didn't consult or talk to her before doing it at all. So, red flag, girl, red flag. Anyway, so-and-so. Micah, the little Asian boy, he is in there. He's not even paying attention to reading the room well because they all live together. He's saying, oh, I'm so nervous I want to take homeboy next door out. I want to use a gift card. I hope he don't mind. I'm using a gift card and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, you better use that gift card, okay? I still got some gift cards I need to use. Shoot. Money is money. Okay? Shoot, however you get it paid, as long as you get paid and you're not dishing and dishing. But anyway, so from there, we see Shane. Shane comes, she comes down from her room or comes up from her. I think her room is in the basement, or I don't know, that house may look different. I think her room, master suite or whatever, is below, and then she comes up, and who is there? Her name is Sarah, but I guess she just goes by her last name, which is Finley, so we're gonna call her Finley. She goes by Finley. She is like, oh, hey, you want some breakfast? I got some from the dollar store. I'm like, what you get from the dollar store? I mean, I can get it if you're poor and you gotta do what you gotta do, girl. But what you get from the dollar store? I mean, no shade on the dollar store, but I mean, I ain't about to be buying all my groceries from up in there, okay? And she was like, oh, you're still here. Shane saying that. And she was like, yeah, just hanging out. And then there's a knock on the door. Then you could tell somebody, it's a black dude, you could tell somebody who probably got some official papers. So he was like, oh, it's Shane's, was it McKenna, whatever her last name is, there. He's like, oh, no, she ain't here because she was about to get served. So kind of just blew that off and then left from front of the door. Then Finley like, who was that at the door? Nobody. I'm like, girl, you is nosy. Like, I don't know how I feel about the Finley character. I need more. I see she's kind of like comic relief, although I don't really find her funny at this point. I kind of just find her kind of needy and desperate. That's all I'm getting from her. I hope they write her character having a little bit more depth than what she has. And a lot of red flags from me from the Finley character comes off because she always talking about when she was mentioned last episode how she cannot have sex without liquid courage, and which I could understand, but that's not a good sign. If you cannot become aroused or you cannot put yourself out there to have sex with someone without being intoxicated, then that's kind of a problem. But I mean, she's young or whatnot, and we'll just see as hopefully her character develops to be something more than it is, because right now I'm a little indifferent about what they're giving us right now as far as the Finley character, and I don't find her funny, and I think that they wrote her for comic relief. Alice is pretty much there for the comic relief. She was like that last and before the original season, and she was there for the comic relief. But the Finley character, I don't know how well I'm taking to her or whatever. I feel like they give us more. I know it's other stuff going on with characters development, but it's just I'm not feeling it. So from there, she had asked Shane like, hey, you want to go out and party, go out for drinks or something? Shane was like, nah. Or whatnot. Then she was talking about she built some for the house. Like, if you don't buy any furniture, I figured we could build some. So Finley is candy at least and trying to contribute what she can. So from there, after Shane gets those papers, she agrees to go out with Finley, and then they go out for drinks. From there, we see. Oh wait, and then Finley does make a comment like, oh, I heard 3 voices coming from your room last night. I don't judge. I'm like, girl, judge, this is her house. If she want to have 8, if you heard 25 voices coming from her room, if no one sounded like they was getting murdered or hurt, that is none of your business. But anyway, but yeah. But then even Shane was like, oh, so when you moving out, it's like, oh, just another week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks max. Like, let's not talk about when I'm moving out. See, that's why you don't invite people in, because they will never leave. They will never leave. Okay, so we go to Danny, who this is supposed to be her first day in her brand new office because she has not broken the news to her father that she is leaving to go work for Bet Porter. So her dad's like, oh, Mihai, everything's going to be so great. You earn this. That office is so damn big. I promise you it's bigger than my apartment. My big apartment ain't that small, but it's like huge, big skyline. I'm like, girl, they hooked you up. And then she walked away from all of that, and she told her father, I am going to work for Bet Porter. She said she offered me a job. Girl, don't be acting like Bet just poached you off of your daddy's company. You went and you came to her asking to come work with her. Let's be real with it. So father, he was all like, because she was like, she tried to break it to him nice, like, you raised me so, standing for myself, have my own beliefs and blah, 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 blah. And then after she said that, he was like, what, you want my approval or something? Nah, somebody will be in here shortly to escort you out. I'm like, dang, she just can't leave on her own accord. Why she got to get escorted out? Like, all of a sudden you don't know her no more? That is your daughter, okay? So, and then she's like, oh yeah, I proposed to Sophie. I guess she want to throw that in. We're like, wow, we slicing and dicing up things and opening wounds and stuff. Let me just go ahead and tell you I'm gonna be with Sophie and we getting married too. He was like, that's enough for one morning, girl. Bye. And she was gone. So from there, and yeah, she's gonna be doing PR for Bet on the campaign. And then we see Bet and her daughter. They're coming into the office and they're getting ready for Bet's supposed to be having like some like type of little gathering, a more so intimate gathering with young folks or whatnot later on that day. But I think either her daughter was either suspended. I don't think her daughter was suspended. Maybe she got the day off. So she has Bet. Bet has, what's her other name? I don't remember. Has her given just doing the mailer envelopes and all that, just busy work, that work that needs to be done for the campaign. And then she was like, oh, can I call my friend Jordy over? She was like, no, you can call one of your classmates over. So this girl does not go to her school, which I could kind of tell that. And then she was like, you can invite somebody. I thought she just didn't want her hanging out with anybody. She was like, no, you can call one of your other classmates. And she was like, no, I hate everybody at that school. So I don't know how she knows this Jordy girl. I guess that's her girlfriend or something. Maybe they're just like really overly close best friend. I'm not sure the extent, but they talk like they're girlfriends. I don't know. But anyway, so from there, we see Sophie and Finley discussing their engagement. They're at Alice's office, or they're in, I guess, one of the rooms in Alice's little headquarters for her show. And they're talking about the engagement, and then Sophie expresses how she's still like, I don't like that Danny sat there and made those type of decisions to leave her job and all that without me. Like, she's still making decisions like kind of behind my back, and you don't want people doing that. Like, it's not good for nobody. So not your relationship at all. So from there, she's like, girl, just let it go, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, you got the right, whatever. But anyway, Finley was like, let's just go, wait, no, Alice comes in and she was like, people from the network are here. And then she's like, oh, you think we're in trouble? Alice was like, no, don't you see, like, didn't we get like all these, like, I know we went against protocol and we didn't get network's approval and we switched our guests last minute, but we got so many calls of people who want to be on our show now since Bet has come on. So they go into then it jumps to Danny. Danny comes in with her little box of stuff. I'm like, girl, you had a huge office, but I guess that's her little essentials. Then she goes to Beth's little governor headquarters, and she's like to Beth's assistant or whoever he is. I gotta get his name. I forgot to look this time. I haven't heard his name be called. But anyway, asked him like, oh, just show me to my office, because he's like, we got to meet in like 5 minutes. Like, okay, just show me to my office. I'll get settled and I'll be up in there. He's like, girl, this ain't that. Just pick an empty desk and keep it moving, okay? This is not. She got to humble herself and bring it down, because that is not what that is up in there. Ain't nobody got money. Everybody have an office and all this and all that. No. I know she don't need the money salary wise. She probably, girl, got money, but still, she's just used to a certain thing. And humble yourself, girl. Humble yourself. So then we jump back to, she sees this painting, and then Bet kind of comes up on her and behind her, and she's like, it's beautiful, isn't it? And I got it from Judy Chicago and all this, and she let me borrow it. And, Bet used to run that whole art gallery and all that stuff, so I just forgot about that till just now. So that's why Bet's just so moved and so intense about art. So she's just sitting there talking to Danny and stuff. I'm like, okay, Bet, don't be like whispering her ear like that. I don't know if that's gonna turn sexual or not, but I'm hoping not, because come on, y'all. Like, I'm just hoping not. I'm just hoping it doesn't become a sexual thing between them, and it's just like a mentor maybe type thing. I don't know. We'll see. But from there we see Alice is talking to network. They're saying like, Alice, you can't go against network like that and switch your guests that like without telling us and getting approval. And first of all, we bought your podcast, or brought you on from your podcast, and gave you this show from for a certain brand that was more appealing to lesbians, more poppy, because he kind of just wants her to keep it like, not talking about the issues, keep it light, keep it friendly, not really address anything real. But she was like, no, we're just trying to get, we just opened a good conversation. We have so many offers now from get genuine people who want to come on the show. But he's like, yeah, and then some dude in the background talking about his 2 cents. And it's some dude, he's talking about this dude is a writer for so-and-so. He's written for all the Jimmys, Sarah this, and he written for this. And they want him to come in and start writing certain things or orchestrating certain stuff on Alice's show. And I'm like, I don't like that, because it's a lot of women empowerment thing, and now this one dude to try to make sure everything is copacetic and, whatever, just not really talking about real shit. And she was like, Alice was saying, I'm curious. I like to come and do. He was like, you can't just come on and interview your friends and blah, blah, blah. But she was like, yeah, it didn't like it was her friend who lived on her couch. This is somebody who's running for mayor. And like she wasn't a legitimate person to come on the show. But they didn't like. I can understand that, especially with the big networks, because they probably got to answer to sponsors and all this stuff, and you just never know. And when you have your overhead is on a big network, it is what it is. And if you want that platform and you want to keep that platform, I see she might end up losing her show or branching off, having to do something else if she wants to her show to have more integrity, journalistic integrity, and stuff like that, because it's not sounding like they want her to do anything like that. And Alice seems like she wants more. She's like, don't want to, dumb down my audience or whatnot. She's like, yeah, but we want the audience from season. Don't you want to still please the people from season 1 and this and this? But she was just like, I want to show growth, and which I can understand. But sometimes they be like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They just want you to regurgitate the same silly shit over and over again, which is like, no, give us something new. But from there, we see. Oh, and then as she's talking, Finley comes in and is talking about some kid sick or whatever, and she's like, what, whose kid, what? And then she's like, oh, so turns out, that's when I realized that she was the stepmom, or whatnot. So one of her stepkids is sick, Eli, the little boy, and they're like, oh, we understand family comes first. She's like, oh, well, it's okay. I'm like, girl, if you don't get up and go get that baby from school. And then, cause she was trying to stay in the meeting, and then Sophie was there to get the points of it, so I mean, they was fine. So Alice had to go. She was like, you better call Shane. I want Shane to come with me and all this, and telling Finley that, because she don't want to deal. Alice does not have a maternal bone in her body. She just doesn't, and that is just so apparent. It was apparent back then in the original series, but now she doesn't have. I mean, you with a woman with children, and I know as people get older in life, people got kids, but either you're going to choose to deal with these children and try to make do. But I mean, those kids have 2 mothers, so it's not like she needs to be like super hands-on with them like that. But there are going to be some times where you on the contact list too, and you're going to have to deal with a girl, and this is one of them times, girl. So boom. From there, we see there's the PR going on with Danny, and she's having a meeting with Bet and her, I don't know, is that her campaign manager? I don't know what his direct title is with Bet, but that's like her right hand or something. And she goes off to say like she thinks that they should get ahead of first, he says that he thinks that they should stop talking about the scandal and move on to other stuff, because otherwise now it just seems like it's self-inflicting, talking about, like, harping over it too much. And then she was like, no, I think you should get Felicity in, and I have her coming in because we don't have her side of the story. Which is true. All they have is the husband calling her out, and then we have Bet saying her stuff on the Alice show, and then where's this woman who you had the affair with? So yeah, I can understand why she's like, you need to have her point of view as well. So Bet ends up saying, like, agreeing to that, and like, okay, but I don't want my daughter, because her daughter's there. She's like, I don't want my daughter to see her, so make sure. And it's like, oh, make sure she's backstage. She's like, I know how to be discreet. She's like, okay, blah blah blah. So they agree to meet and all that. So from there, Shane and Alice go get the little boy Eli, her stepson, and he like really is sick. He's all like about to vomit and stuff, and just then they had the boy throwing up in the crock pot. That is disgusting. Like, you couldn't find a bag or nothing. Lucky he threw up in one of their car. So from there, you know, Shane was just getting her little motherliness on. She was doing a whole lot better than Alice. She's like, he's just a person just like you and me, Alice. Then she's like, no, but they're like little people, and she just thinks kids are like aliens and stuff. And then she mentions Shane's wife, Kiara. She was like, you should have had kids with Kiara and all this and blah blah blah. So I'm kind of wondering, did Kiara do something to Shane? And then Shane was finally the one that was being right? I don't know. Because we have yet to meet this wife, Kiara, yet. And it's only episode 2, but we've seen her name on the screen, on the phone, and we've heard her be mentioned, but we ain't seen her. So from there, we see, then it goes to the bad Felicity meeting, and we don't really see much of that. And then it jumps to, Sophie and, you know, celebrating with her family, just like her sisters and mom and whatnot. Just like, oh my God, because Finley said like, hey, let's go have a drink. And she was like, nah, Finley, I'm gonna go drink with my sister and my family, or whatever. So they're just like, you know, yes, congratulations. How you gonna do your hair? How you gonna do that? She's like, I don't know. They're like, girl, what's wrong? We know you. What is wrong? And she's like, I just, you know, don't want Danny to be making decisions without me. And they were like, girl, you'll be all right. And then shit, if it ain't go all right, you can always get divorced. That is not a good thing to tell me, because people be like, well, I can just get divorced. This shit don't work. Which is true. But you should just not walk up and get married like that. Like, marriage, it's what you make it. You can't just be like thinking like, if it ain't going well, I'm out. But whatever. That's what they tell us. So it's kind of funny. So from there, we see Shane. Oh wait, no. I skipped ahead with the whole Shane and Finley thing, but it don't really matter. It wasn't that big. So yeah, now we're at the part because I already said my whole spiel on Shane and them. So from there, we see Micah on his little date, and then Micah is like, oh, there's something I need to tell you. And then his date, the dude, he's like, oh, you're trans. I know because I saw it on something. I didn't rewind it back because I didn't feel like it. But he was like, no, I just wanted to tell you that I was going to use a gift card. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But he is trans. So I'm like, okay, they got a lot of representation going on, which is good because representation does matter. We got a trans... So we haven't seen any trans women. So it's 2 trans men. Well, so far I'm trying to think. 2 trans men. We have Latinos. We have all types of colors and stuff, and beautiful assortment of different types and kinds of people and genders and all that, which is beautiful to see. And it's like, it's a lot. And especially for someone who is not well versed in that. I mean, but I don't think anybody who isn't well versed in you know, LGBTQ and all that would even watch this show. Honestly, it's sad, but I don't think so. But anyway, a lot of representation, which is good. Which I believe Eileen Chaikin is how you pronounce the name, the creator of the show. I feel like she likes to push that a lot, and she pushed it back then. And I wonder if they're gonna do a reboot to Queer as Folk, because that was my shit too. So I don't know, maybe we'll see. Anyway, don't want to get off subject. I was doing good on time. So again, we see then it jumps from the dude he's on a date with, Micah's on a date with. He seems very nice and very understanding, and he was like, oh, it's okay. He's like, you could have, he told him, was like, we could have just went to, because he took him to a nice restaurant. He's like, we could have just went to Galaxy Pizza or something. Or he's like, I wanted to go somewhere with forks. He's like, I want to take you somewhere with forks. And he's like really trying to take him out to a nice little dinner. I was like, this is cute. And he was like, look, how about this? We will, because it's $80 gift card, we will order as much as we can for with with the $80 and make sure we got enough to tip as well on the card. And he was like, okay, so they doing good. I mean, after the whole little trans and the little mix up and stuff, it was cool. So, I mean, he is trans though, but that wasn't what he's trying to say. But from there, we see Shane and Finley at the bar, and Finley is just drinking and going around constantly hitting on women, trying to talk to women, getting shut down from every which way. Bow no, bow no, bow no. I'm like, ooh, that is just ugh. And then Shane just sitting at the bar or whatnot, and then there's a bartender. This is the same woman that plays, I think her name is Cora on How to Get Away with Murder. She's what's the name's wife on How to Get Away with Murder. And she was only for a couple episodes. But Tegan's wife on How to Get Away with Murder. I was like, she looked familiar. They just, because the thing is she was giving me like older Carmen vibes, which Carmen was the girl who was engaged to Shane back in the day. They're kind of giving me those vibes. But anyway, y'all, like I said, I'm going to be referencing the original L Word here and there, which they will be too. It's the reboot and the same characters are in there. So, of course, they're going to mention people. So, another thing was when Bet was talking to Danny, who's doing her PR, she was like, is there anything else that I need to know other than this, this little scandal? Anything else that I need to know that might get thrown at me? She was like, I cheated on my wife. I went to jail one time for a day. And one of my neighbors or friends or whatever died at my home, my swimming pool, Jenny Schechter. And I was like, who killed Jenny really though? Who killed Jenny now? Are you gonna say something? I don't know if they gonna just mention it then and then let it go or what. But whatever. So again, we still have not seen Tina. I don't know if Tina does not live in LA anymore or what's going on, but yeah. So from there we jump to Alice is with her wife, and there was a moment before Alice goes and talks to her wife. I think it's before that. It really don't matter which order that was. Oh no, it is, because Alice talks to her wife first, and then because her wife finally comes home, and she was like, oh, thank you for picking up Eli, I appreciate it. And then Alice was like, she was like, don't worry, Gigi's gonna come tomorrow and she's gonna spend the day with him. And then she was like, you can't do that. She was like, you can't call Gigi. You said that you wanted me to be like more a part of the kids' lives, so I want you. And then have they had to go to a lot of therapy? They only been together for 2 years, so I would hope not. I'm thinking she's a therapist, because she was very serious about that talking. Like, I acknowledge your feelings, but what do you want me to feel? Or how are you feeling? Or I want you to know this. And then talk to me. She's like, I want you to not talk to me. Like, that would irritate me. And y'all, I study psychology and all that, but that would irritate the hell out of me. I can talk, do that talk too, but it's like, you ain't gotta be that like by the book, like, oh, I want you to acknowledge and feel that I know this. I'm like, that would irk my soul. But anyway, so Alice just pretty much wants to say, like, I still want to be heard, and I still want to be someone you come to when it comes to this your kids. And then she's like, okay, well, do you want to watch Eli tomorrow? No, but I want you to ask me. Which is true. It's a valid point. Like, don't just jump to her. Like, this is our household. I know that's their mother too, but still, she wants to feel included, which is understandable because they're supposed to all be a family. But from there, is that all I want to say? Yeah. From there, Finley and finally finds a girl who bites and is like, oh, hey, she's like, what's your name? She's like, the girl, like, I see you get shot down from everybody in this damn bar. And she was like, yeah. And then she was like, want to buy me a drink? And I'm like, girl, how you gonna tell her, try to holler at her, and she done see you get shot down from everybody, and you ask her to buy you a drink? And then she's like, oh, well, I mean, I'm just a TA, or something I forgot. I think she said a TA or AC or assistant, something. Her job ain't much. She was like, do you have a job? I'm like, girl, you asked her to buy you a drink. You don't ask her, does she have a job? Even if she don't got a job, if she got to pay for the drinks, mind your bit. Like, I'm like, get the fuck out my face. I'm sorry, that's just me. Just girl gone. No. But I guess she found her cute and quirky or whatnot. I don't know. Maybe I need to more onto this Finley character because I don't know. So from there, Shane is still at the bar with the bartender lady or whatever, the one who played Cora on How to Get Away with Murder, and then some dude who's been pretty much overserved. She was telling him like, "Nah, you need to leave, and we ain't serving you no more drinks for tonight." She was like, "Oh," and then he get all crazy and put his hands on her. So Shane had to get up and say that they put the paws on her. On dude and knock his ass on the floor. He said, I thought this is America. I'm like, what in the South Park is going on? So I was like, oh my goodness. So she was like, oh my goodness. She's like, are you okay? And then I forgot that the girlfriend, who's a waitress, is the bartender's girlfriend. But I can already see that that's not gonna last long with Shane over there saving and rescuing a hoe. Like, what was your girlfriend? And then I'm like, is the girlfriend trans? I'm not sure. Her voice kind of deep. Not just if your voice is deep, you a man, or you used to be a man. You know what I'm saying? Not like that. I know plenty of females with deep voices, but her voice just kind of sounds a little like, y'all know what I'm saying. Either you know what I'm saying or you don't. But whatever. And then there was the point. I just want to get the Shane part out the way. She was talking to Shane, the girl, the Hispanic chick that played Coral, the one who played How to Get Away with Murder. I don't remember her name. She was talking to Shane about like, man, this is crazy. This place is such a dump or whatnot. And then Shane's like, didn't this used to be a gay bar? She was like, yeah, but then they changed it over. And then she's like, her girlfriend wants to buy the place and change it back to a gay bar, and it will be the only gay lesbian bar in the city. I'm like, damn, ain't no lesbian joints up in this bitch? Not one. I'm like, that is crazy, because it used to be like hellas, and Kid and they always had, the Marina had the spots and stuff. So I guess shit's changed in 10 years, yeah. So Shane was like, somebody should just buy it and let y'all run it then. And then I'm like, Shane, I know. So now is Shane gonna sit here and be the silent partner, and then that's gonna get her closer to this woman? Shane, you was not slick. You ain't that damn giving, just sitting here opening up gay clubs, lesbian clubs, just to be nice and shit. So Shane, no. But anyway, we'll see where that's gonna go. So from there, we see Finley. Oh, we see Micah on his date, and they in the swimming pool getting real friendly, and then his date asked him, so when did you transition? He was like, about 5 years ago. And then he was like, asked him more questions, and he was like, I don't like talking about that. And then he's like, okay, I'm sorry. And then he kind of like swims off a little bit, and then he was like, it just seems like time somebody knows that I'm trans, all of a sudden when they're looking at me, they're squinting and try to imagine what I look like before, and I just don't want to think about that person before, at all. I just want to move forward. And he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. And he's like, no, I don't even want you to look at me. He's like, look at me. Am I squinting? I just see you. And that was sweet. And then they just started kissing, and then he tried to reach down. And I guess, I don't know, he doesn't like to be touched in that area, Micah. So Micah just went. His little tiny self. You trying to tell me he's a top? Okay. So he's just all up behind dude. And I don't know what he was doing. So, I mean, I don't know what he was doing. So I'm like, I don't know, y'all. I was like, well, what's y'all? I just don't know. So, okay. And then it was just like, oh, yeah. So they was doing whatever they was doing. And then it jumps over to Sophie. She's kind of drunk, passed out at home. Danny comes in, put a cover on her. Then we see Bet. We see Bet doing that this little get together, like a very small, intimate get together. I think with trans, gay, and all these like different like homeless. I don't know if they're homeless teens and stuff like that. And before she goes to do that, she's walking down with her daughter and her assistant or whatnot. Her daughter's little girlfriend or whatever, Jordy, pops up, and she was like, "Oh, Jordy, I didn't know you were coming today." And she was like, "Oh, Miss Porter, I'm really sorry about what happened the other day. I guess our family values are different, and I didn't think she was gonna get in trouble about skipping school." I'm like, what kind of family you got where it's okay for you to just cut class and skip school? I mean, that's not acceptable unless you ask or something and you got a valid reason. What kind of family values you got, girl? And then she was like, I just want you to know I like spending time with your wonderful daughter and all this. And she's like, okay, well, next time you want to spend time with my wonderful daughter, lose the weed or whatever, lose the pot, whatever. She's like, okay, sorry. So then they go off and they're having the little, and then before this, it was Danny's idea to do this little thing with no press in it and have nobody like flashing cameras. She's like, well, if the press isn't there, it's just going to be only like 50 people. She's like, fine, it would be better. She's like, everybody now these days has a phone and a camera phone, so she's gonna wait till the whoever or whatever posts from the little forum that she's doing with these teens, and then she's gonna push that, as the agenda, and not just have the media and the news all in people's face, and it's not as because it won't look as genuine. And Bet agrees to that, so this is what she's going to do now. And then Bet, is just saying like, I just want to help, us and the community. And then she's like, does anybody have any questions? Anybody want to share anything? She's like, one girl raises her hand and she was like, I've just never seen anyone like you consider yourself and speak and say us. And she was like, that means a lot. And then she was like, I love that you are out for us and you have like these these views and you want to help. But she's like, but in other ways, she wish she didn't have that because she really wants her to be in power and finally give power to the gays and the trans and all that, everybody. Because there aren't many people in power who are, or openly people openly who are pushing to help these kids and homelessness and all that stuff. And she was like, even her own mother kind of doesn't even consider herself a part of her because of her being, I think she was trans. And I was like, she's like, Bet was like, first of all, let me say that I'm sorry that your mother, made you, feels that way towards you. And she's like, although we aren't walking, I can't identify with everything that you're saying because we're, different as far as our experiences, but, I understand parents not accepting you and not being accepted because my father, until the day he died, he called my wife, ex-wife, the person who I had a child with and everything and loved completely, called her just my friend. And as if like our love or the love that we have is less than. And I was like, that was very powerful. And then the girl was getting all choked up. She was like, thank you. And then gave her a hug. And I was like, that is awesome press. But it's good that the actual press wasn't there and it was just getting caught on a camera phone. And I'm sure Danny's going to get a good angle of that and put that out on the internet so people can see, and it's going to look like Bet for the people, for all the people, So that turned out good. And then, it was a nice little moment. So from there, we see Danny. Then Danny is talking to Bet's like manager or whatever, saying, yeah, this is what Bet needs to do. She needs to be more personal. And then the assistant's like, yeah, but she doesn't like doing it. She's like, why? He was like, you don't know why she's running, do you? He's like, no, why? And I'm like, will somebody tell me and everybody else? Because I have no idea why Bet is so hell-bent on running and why it's so personal to her. I'm still banking on maybe Pam Grier, OD'd or something, and that's what she's talking about. I don't know, but I'm trying to think who else so personal and why she would be so upset, because it ain't Tina alive. So who is it, y'all? Can you please just tell me? Like, was like, the characters cannot know, but like, can y'all have another scene where it's discussed away from Danny or something? Because he didn't tell her either. I thought he was going to tell her, but no. So I'm waiting too, y'all. So, whatever. So, we'll find out, I guess. And then from there, we see Alice. So apparently little Eli got her sick. Her stepson, and she walked past and she see him in the bed with Gigi, you know, that's her son, and there she already reading her story, and then, you know, she walking around looking all sick, and then Gigi comes into the kitchen. She's like, oh, have some tea. She's like, you ain't poisoned it, did you, or whatnot? And then she's like, no. So then they end up having a moment, and then she was like, yeah, Eli hasn't been this sick since he was a little baby. And that was kind of like, she was like, yeah, what's the name didn't tell you about that? She was like, her wife, I don't remember the wife's name. She's like, she didn't tell you about that? She was like, no. She's like, that was pretty much the beginning of the end for us. And she was like, why? She was like, yeah, when he was so sick, he kept saying, mama, mama. We thought that he was saying mama. He was really saying Mona. So I guess whatever bitch, who I think she might still be with now to this day, or she's still around. It's like, oh, so that's when you was cheating. So she's sitting there talking about some, so like the baby threw her under the bus and told on her, like, see, yeah, watch what you do around kids. Kids be knowing and be seeing, and they don't know that they ain't supposed to mention the other people you done had them around. So from there, Alice was like, oh, she was like, then Gigi was like, oh, do you remember that time when I came? She's like, yeah, when you showed up and you had with a hammer. She's like, yeah. She's like, I was just really desperate and I was scared because I thought I was going to lose my family, which is understandable. But you don't want to cheat it, so whatever. But it's nice that she didn't, as a parent, she took herself out of the equation as far as their relationship, and she still allowed her to be in those kids' life. That's the way you're supposed to do that shit. You don't sit there, not unless the other parent is bringing harm to these kids. You don't sit there and just snatch your kids away to try to use them as pawns. I hate when people do that shit. It's horrible. Anyway, that's another story for another time. But from there, you know, they have a moment and it's really nice. And you can see, I'm like, have y'all never sat down and talked to each other in these 2 years? I guess not really. So, but Gigi even says, like, you make her so happy. And then she kind of is like, you know, she deserves that. And I'm like, that's good that Alice is happy and she makes that woman happy and they good. So, y'all, let's get long. From there, we see Sophie and Danny's engagement party. And everybody's having a good time. Everybody's happy. And then they're like, oh, congratulations. Oh, my God. So they're doing all that stuff. And welcome to the family. Where's your father? I know he's happy. She's like, oh, he couldn't make it. And the mom was like, you have us now. We're all family. Welcome. And it was very sweet, nice moment. And then, you know, everybody getting crunk, listening to music and stuff. And then she asked Sophie, Sophie's mom calls her to the side and goes in the room. And she hands her family heirloom. I guess it was a ring. And she was like, you know, your grandmother wore this from when she got engaged to the day she died. She said to give it to the first grandson. She's like, I think it's okay for you to have it. She's like, but if you give her this, make sure you know she's the right person you're giving it to. She's like, I will, mama. And all that was a cute huggy cry. She's like, it's a celebration, mamita, you know, be happy. So there was that. Then Micah gives a nice little toast. He says a poem, and then as the poem goes on, we see flashes from what is it? Because Finley was drinking again and going off to see that girl, because she was the girl that she was at the bar with. They did go and try to get it in, but she couldn't even do nothing because she was so drunk. I thought she was gonna throw up on her, which was nasty. I was like, you gotta get that wasted to have sex with someone? That kind of disturbing to me, honestly. And then she's like, took another drink with Micah when there were things. She was like, yeah, I can't believe she actually even texted me back. And then she was like, oh, let's take one more drink. And then she's like, I don't want to be too drunk when I see her. I was like, why do you have to be so intoxicated to go and be with someone that you possibly like? But I mean, you don't know if you like this girl because y'all just had drinks together. You never had really conversation with this person. But anyway, shows her going off to go finally get it in with this girl. Shows just a couple different things. Shows Alice and her wife, you know, being intimate. And then it shows Shane sitting there looking at her divorce papers, looking sad and crying. So, and then it goes and we see Bet, and who was sitting, well, we see the behind of somebody's head, but I knew it was Bet's head, sitting on a park bench. And then we see who walks up, Felicity. So I'm like, y'all still seeing each other, but apparently they probably ended it, but they both still have, it seems like, very strong feelings for each other. She's like, I missed you. I miss you. I was like, y'all is taking a big ass risk meeting anywhere, because what if some paparazzi or somebody fucking gets is hiding up in the bushes and gonna tell on y'all or something. Y'all need to be real careful talking about how much y'all miss each other and all that. And I'm like, girl, if you that much for Bet, then why haven't you got a divorce? Do they have kids? What's going on? And whatnot. But y'all, that's just how the episode ended. That was the L Word. Sorry, y'all. I thought it was gonna be short. The L Word season 1, episode 2. And I will see y'all for the next few episodes. I don't know if I'm going to just release all these in one day or just give one at a time to let y'all get y'all bearings. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share my video. And feel free to comment what you think is going to happen this season. And all that. If you made all the way to the end of this video, put a thumbs up. Or thumbs up anyway. But if you made it to the end of this video, put a heart in the comments. And yeah, I will see y'all for the next one. Peace. Bye.